Top 10 dunks of all time. A dunk in the NBA might not rack up a ton of points, but when a player soars through the air, flying above defenders, and slams that ball into the basket, the vibe in the arena hits you right in the brain cells. Whether it's a fast break, a half-court offense, or a post-up situation, the thrill of watching someone defy gravity and throw it down is unmatched. And let's be real, if you can jump 48 inches and jam it home, your fans are going to be over the moon, knowing they've picked the best sport to obsess over. Today, I'm going to take you through the top 10 dunks of all time in the 8-decade history of this game. So buckle up because it's going to be electrifying. And trust me, not subscribing would be a serious foul. Julius Irving rocks the baby. So while talking about the best dunks in NBA history and not mentioning January 5th, 1983 is seriously impossible, you might remember it was a time when the Philadelphia 76ers were up against the Los Angeles Lakers, two powerhouse teams of that era. Julius Irving, better known as Dr. J, was already a court legend back then, but on this night he gave us something truly special. Dr. J got the ball and charged down the court with that smooth, effortless stride only he could pull off. As he neared the basket, the Lakers' defense scrambled to get into position. Michael Cooper, a formidable defender, stepped up to try and stop the inevitable. Irving soared towards the hoop with the ball cradled in one hand, rocking it back and forth like a baby, almost casually taunting, "This is my house." The crowd went wild. Cooper could only watch as Dr. J completed the dunk with lethal precision, slamming the ball through the hoop with authority.
It's stolen, I think, by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Dominique Wilkins' dunk on Bob Lanier. And a year later in 1984, the Atlanta Hawks were up against the Milwaukee Bucks and struggling to find their groove. The Hawks needed to make a statement, and who better to deliver than Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight film himself. During a critical moment in the game, Wilkins found himself trapped by a double team. But like Houdini in Sneakers, he spun away from his defenders and charged toward the basket. Standing in his way was Bob Lanier, a Hall of Fame center with a reputation for shutting down plays. But Wilkins was undeterred. He took off and executed a jaw-dropping sideways slam dunk right over Lanier. The dunk was a thing of beauty, powerful, precise, and utterly dominant. Lanier, despite his best efforts, was left in the shadow of Wilkins' brilliance.
Dominique, baseline drive, Dominique, oh my goodness! Did you see that jam? I don't know how he did that, Dominique!
That was one of the most fantastic dunks of all time.
Vince Carter's rookie slam. And can you believe it? His dunk was so legendary that for the next 15 years, no one even came close to topping it. He enjoyed that crown until February 24th, 1999, but then the Toronto Raptors faced off against the Indiana Pacers, where Vince Carter had some viciously brutal plans for the Pacers. During the game, Carter maneuvered through traffic with the kind of agility that made you question if gravity was just a suggestion to him. He launched himself into the air for a reverse dunk that looked more like something out of a dunk contest than an actual game. The commentators were left utterly speechless. You could almost hear the gears in their brains grinding to find the right words to describe the brilliance they had just witnessed. The crowd was completely stunned, caught somewhere between disbelief and wild admiration. It was like everyone collectively paused to process what had just happened.
To Vince Carter near corner. Pump fake on the run. Baseline left. Reverse swing and two-handed jam. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Shaquille O'Neal on Chris Dudley. At number 7, we have the unforgettable showdown between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks on March 28th, 1999. During the second half, with the Lakers pushing their lead, Shaquille O'Neal decided it was time to make a definitive statement. Shaq got the ball in the post, backing down Chris Dudley with his sheer, unstoppable strength. In one swift move, he spun around Dudley and unleashed a monstrous two-handed dunk. The force was so intense that Shaq's legs swung forward, sending Dudley sprawling to the floor. But Shaq wasn't done. Adding insult to injury, he shoved Dudley away as he landed.
Against Dudley. Nice. Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move that Dudley...
Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal. But if I tell you there's something even more jaw-dropping than that Shaquille dunk, you should immediately think of June 4th, 2000. Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. The Los Angeles Lakers facing off against the Portland Trail Blazers. This wasn't just any game, it was a high-stakes battle with a trip to the NBA Finals on the line. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife, and the Lakers were clawing their way back in a thrilling fourth-quarter comeback. Then, in a moment that seemed almost too perfect, Kobe Bryant took control of the ball. With that fierce determination in his eyes, he drove down the court like a man on a mission. In a swift, precise move that only Kobe could pull off, he lobbed the ball toward the basket. Enter Shaquille O'Neal, a towering force of nature, who soared through the air to catch the pass. The next second, Shaq threw down a thunderous alley-oop dunk that practically shook the entire arena. The crowd went absolutely bananas.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq!
Gerald Green's Windmill. Well, do you remember March 10th, 2012? The New Jersey Nets were taking on the Houston Rockets, and in the second quarter, the Nets were desperately searching for a spark to ignite their momentum. And then came Gerald Green, a guy known for his insane leaping ability. He saw his chance on a fast break. The Nets were pushing the ball up the court, and Green sprinted towards the basket. He got a perfect lob pass and took off from just inside the free throw line. In an astounding display of athleticism, Green soared with his head practically level with the rim. He pulled off a flawless windmill dunk, swinging the ball around in a full circle before slamming it through the hoop. That windmill dunk became the highlight of the game, lifting the Nets' spirits and injecting new energy into the team. Sure, the Rockets went on to win the game 112-106, but Gerald Green's windmill was the moment everyone talked about.
Extra good rebound. Nice outlet. On the run. 2-on-1. Green the finish. Wow, the alley-oop. Oh my goodness.
LeBron James over John Lucas III. Now at number 4 on the list of top dunks in history, we have a moment that still freezes the time. On January 24th, 2012, the Miami Heat were up against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Heat were setting up an offensive play, and LeBron found himself cutting towards the basket. The ball was lobbed toward him, and what happened next was pure magic. LeBron took off with such astonishing elevation that it seemed like he had springs in his shoes. He leaped completely over John Lucas III, who was trying to defend the play but ended up looking like an extra in a superhero movie. James caught the ball midair and slammed it through the hoop with such authority that the crowd's reaction was instant. Lucas, poor guy, was left standing there, utterly humiliated. He probably spent the rest of the game wondering if he should have just stayed home that day.
Hand in Bosch's face. Left side is Wayne Wade, the alley-oop. LeBron with a right hand jam on the alley-oop, coming for the back door.
DeAndre Jordan posterizes Brandon Knight. And just a year after that super famous dunk by LeBron, DeAndre Jordan decided it was time to shake things up. On March 10th, 2013, the Los Angeles Clippers were going head-to-head with the Detroit Pistons. The game was already tilting in favor of the Clippers, who were showing off their dominance on both ends of the court. Midway through the second quarter, the Clippers were cruising with a comfortable lead. During a fast break, Chris Paul, known for his impeccable passing skills, spotted a golden opportunity. He lobbed the ball towards the rim with precision that only CP3 could deliver. Enter DeAndre Jordan, one of the most athletic big men in the league, ready to make something spectacular happen. Brandon Knight, a guard for the Pistons, bravely positioned himself under the basket, hoping to defend the play. But then, Jordan soared above him, catching the ball midair and unleashing a thunderous alley-oop dunk over Knight.
Here comes Chris Paul. The lob. The jam! Oh, what a monster jam by DeAndre Jordan!
Giannis Antetokounmpo leaps over Tim Hardaway Jr. I know you all must be waiting for the mention that half of the NBA world is crazy for. Yes, I'm talking about February 6th, 2018. The Milwaukee Bucks versus New York Knicks. Both teams were trading blows, and midway through the second quarter, the Bucks were itching to gain an edge. Chris Middleton stole the ball and kicked off a fast break. Right beside him, like a gazelle on a mission, was Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak himself. As Middleton got closer to the rim, he spotted Giannis trailing and lobbed the ball up. Giannis leaped over Tim Hardaway Jr., who was trying his best to defend the play. Antetokounmpo caught the ball mid-air and dunked it with such authority that his feet completely cleared Hardaway's head. Madison Square Garden was left in stunned silence for a split second before erupting in disbelief and awe.
Lance Thomas fakes, whips a pass right to the hands of Middleton.
Cross-court passes.
Oh, and Antetokounmpo throws it down.
Ja Morant's vicious dunk. And now we're talking about a dunk that people call supernatural. A year back, on January 24th, 2023, the Memphis Grizzlies faced off against the Indiana Pacers in a nail-biting game. Both teams battled fiercely for control. As the game moved into the third quarter, the Grizzlies were desperate to break the deadlock and build some momentum. And that's where Ja Morant, the Grizzlies' electrifying point guard, came in. He took control of the ball at the top of the key, eyes laser-focused. With his trademark speed and agility, he zipped past his defender and drove towards the basket. Jalen Smith of the Pacers stepped up, ready to challenge him. In a move that seemed to defy the laws of physics, Morant launched himself into the air, arm fully extended with the ball. He soared above Smith, who could only watch as Morant completed the dunk with a thunderous slam. It was a poster-worthy moment that froze time.
Morant against McConnell. Pick and roll. Morant.
Oh, my word! Holy cow!
There are hundreds of dunks every season, and sure, a lot of them are pretty memorable. But when it comes to the top 10, we gotta highlight the truly exceptional ones like these. Think there's a dunk out there that deserves a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more jaw-dropping basketball moments.